Welcome to Wrestle Hook. My name is Brendan, and in today's video, I'm going to be looking at all the competitors in the Money in the Bank matches and power ranking them from 12 to 1 based on who I think is likeliest to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. If that sounds like your thing, give the video a like, leave a comment below letting me know who you think is going to win, and let's get started. Starting with number 12, or in other words, the least likely to win the match, is Zoey Stark. Now, Zoey's in this match not to win, not to almost win. Zoey's in this match because she can take good bumps, she's a pretty good worker, she can do flips, she can do pretty good dives, she'll probably do some cool stuff, but she's not there to win. And I'm not going to say anything else because we all know she is number 12. At number 11, I have Lyra Valkyria. Lyra already had her thing with the Queen of the Ring. She had a really good performance, she made it to the finals losing against Nia Jax, but she's just not quite there as far as, I think, ready to win a title or be in the title mix in the women's division quite yet. And I also think she's already had her thing, she's already been established. This is more of an opportunity for her to showcase her skills, but she's not going to get it done. So she's number 11 on my list. At number 10, I have Carmelo Hayes. Melo, look, he's got the mellow in the bank, he can say that, but aside from that phrase, I don't think there's a chance that he wins this match. He's just not quite ready, he's not quite on the level, especially when you look at the star power that are surrounding the men's titles right now. He's not quite there yet. Now, I'm not saying he can't be in the future. I think he's a pretty good talent. He's not quite where I'd want him to be yet as far as his promos, and his in-ring can be hit or miss for me, honestly. But as a prospect, he's pretty good. I like his character a lot. He's coming off as a brash heel, a young guy that is just way too confident in himself, and he doesn't take any advice from the older talent. I like what they're doing with him, but nothing around the title picture anytime soon for him, so he's pretty far low on my list. Next I have LA Knight. Yeah, and LA Knight, look, I thought last year actually would have been a really good opportunity to put that briefcase on him, but they went with Priest. Priest actually has done a decent job, I'll give it to him. But LA Knight, he's not here to win this year because this year he's going to be wrestling Logan Paul at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. I think that's going to be the thing that he gets, the thing that he wins. I'm excited to see him rewarded for being so over with the crowd for over a year and a half, 2 years now. But the world title, not quite where I want to see LA Knight anyway, so I'm pretty okay with him just being in this match to get pops, have some fun stuff, but, you know, ultimately not come away with the win. Next I have Iyo Sky, who, look, Iyo's one of my favorite talents on the roster, but she's not winning because she already did this last year. That's how she won the title last year at SummerSlam in Detroit. I was there. And it was a really good experience. She held the title all the way to WrestleMania, but that's just not what she's going to be doing this year. I think she has a chance to get back to a title, whether it's Raw or SmackDown eventually, but it's not going to be with the Money in the Bank again. I think that would kind of delegitimize her as a challenger for that belt, and that's just not going to be her story. So I'm excited to see her in this match. I was super pumped that she's in it because she really does bring a lot of credibility to the match. She's really one of the most established people in the match already, which is pretty awesome to see. But she's there to do some cool flips, do some cool stuff. Ultimately, she's not bringing the briefcase down either. At number 7, I have Andrade, and that's kind of exciting to me because if you look at the Money in the Bank matches this year, I actually really can't say I know exactly who's going to win either match. And this is the first person on my list that I think is a legitimate dark horse chance at winning. I say that for a couple of reasons. One is that he's the only person in this match, aside from maybe Melo, that doesn't have someone else that will likely come out and interfere, costing him this opportunity. LA Knight's got Logan Paul, Gable's got Uncle Howdy and the Wyatts, Jey Uso's got the Bloodline, Drew McIntyre, he's got CM Punk. So when you're looking at the field, a lot of these guys already have probable matches for SummerSlam. So, considering that, then you have Andrade. Andrade, since he's came in, he's not really been given anything of substance. That being said, that does not mean his talent's not been on display. And in fact, in his qualifying match, him and Kevin Owens, I thought had one of the best performances as far as matches on SmackDown and that triple threat, just in moments, than I've seen in quite some time. So I think Andrade is absolutely a main event level talent. He's got the charisma. If he's presented on the tier of guys like Cody, Randy, Kevin, he could easily get in that mix. And actually what I think he should be doing is offering his help against the Bloodline with those guys, because it can kind of show the crowd, look, this is someone to take seriously, and this is someone that we want you to know is on that level. So if he gets the Money in the Bank, They would have to do it in reverse, a little bit like Priest last year, where Priest wasn't a main event level talent when he got the brief. But you knew if he got it, they're going to try to build him up to be that point. And I think Andrade is a better in-ring talent by far than Priest is. So maybe not by far, maybe by a bit. But Andrade, I really want him to win. He's actually the person I want to win the most on his list, but there's just so many people that are likely to win this match that he's down at 7 for me. So shout out to Triple H and WWE for booking these matches with a pretty high level of uncertainty to me. Number 6, I have Naomi. Naomi's been in the mix for the SmackDown Championship, kind of. She's talked to Bayley about it. They've had a match for it. And she's reminded Bayley if she wins the Money in the Bank, she may have to cash it on her friend down the line. Now here's the reality. With Naomi and some other stars around this spot, I really need to see it to believe it a little bit more, because Naomi's had opportunities in the past, but they've never really decided to run the ball with her as the top star on the show. And she hasn't really been getting anything of substance either since coming back at the Royal Rumble, similar to Andrade. They both had matches at WrestleMania, and they are both middle of the card matches. Neither of them have gotten any singles feuds or chances to really have a singles momentum going into this show, so it's hard for me to pick Naomi, even though I think this would be a cool opportunity to reestablish her as one of those top stars in your women's division. At number 5, I have Chad Gable, and let me make this clear, I love Chad Gable, but I'm gonna have to see it to believe it, just like Naomi. Gable just came off his most prominent feud that he's had in his entire career in WWE, over 7 years, and he lost to Sami Zayn pretty unceremoniously. Now he's trapped in the Uncle Howdy Wyatt Styx verse, which there's some parts of it I like, some parts of it that are very Party City-esque. So I don't know where that's gonna go. I don't know how he's gonna pair up with the Creeds. I was excited for that to happen in the midst of the Sami storyline. In fact, I fantasy booked it on his channel. I thought it was happening, and I was wrong. But that's where they led me to believe, and they took a weird turn. I have a hard time believing that they're gonna give this Money in the Bank briefcase to him, but if they do, I'd be very happy. And actually, then my co-host on this podcast, Gerard, would have called it. So credit to him if he wins this match, because I don't really see it happening. That being said, he's one of the bigger stars in these matches, and he would be a phenomenal Mr. Money in the Bank if they decided that, you know, somehow he can get past this Howdy stuff quickly and on to the championship scene. At number 4, I have Jey Uso. Look, Jey is on all the covers of this show. He is the one talking about it the most. He's the one with the money in the yeet in the bank, Money in the yeet, Money in the bank, whatever they're calling it. Jey Uso is in front of it. They're really trying to lead us to believe he's gonna win, which is why I think he just can't win, or he's not gonna win. I think they're just playing their cards way too obviously if Jay's gonna win, and to me it'd be kind of deflating because I don't really know where you'd go with that. I think the most interesting thing for Jey to do is to get back with his brother and with his cousin Roman and go help his family out, and Gable kind of pointed him in that direction this week. So as far as Jey goes, I think the likeliest thing to happen here is the bloodline interfering somehow in this match. But regardless, he's not gonna get it done here. But he could because he's that big star, right? He's got the fireflies, he's making those elaborate entrances, he's got all the phrases, the catchphrases, and it's possible, it's probable. I just don't want it to happen. I don't think it should happen. I want to see Jey back against that bad bloodline. So number 3 was even a surprise to me, and if I did this list before the Chicago SmackDown a couple weeks ago, this would never have made my list, but it's Chelsea Green. Now, Chelsea has gotten herself over to a crazy extent. The Chicago crowd, they wanted nothing more than to see her come in and get that win, and that match was tremendous. About as great of a reaction you could have expected if you were booking that match. And Chelsea in this match, I think she's gonna be a crowd favorite. She's from Canada. People have booed her for so long, but I think they just have a respect for her commitment to her character, and just really how incredible of a talent she is. So this would be fun to me. It would be a pretty unexpected person to come in and get Money in the Bank this year. Nothing, like I said, I wouldn't have picked this 2 weeks ago. After seeing that match, how over she was, and just anticipating the fun spots that are going to happen in this ladder match, I can absolutely see her coming away with that briefcase. Now, it's also cool because if you're looking for any character that can take a briefcase and not let it weigh them down, because sometimes I feel like the Money in the Bank, it kind of weighs people down or drags them down a little bit, but she can absolutely take that gimmick and play it up all the way. And I think back to Priest last summer, and even a little bit to WrestleMania this year, there were so many times when he failed cash-ins, just didn't show up, just forgot to cash in. Like, it made him look kind of stupid. But for Chelsea, they could play it off so well with some really good comedy stuff, but also if the crowd loves her, she could win a championship after getting that briefcase. So I put Chelsea at 2. I don't think she's the favorite, but if she got that briefcase, that arena will erupt. So Chelsea Green is the second highest on the women's and my 3rd overall on his list. At number 2 and the highest for the women's division, I have Tiffany Stratton. Now look, this would have been a no-brainer before she posted that dumb shit on Instagram. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can find it very easily. But Tiffany, as a talent specifically, is the obvious choice here. After she got left off of WrestleMania, my first thought was, just like many people's thought was Money in the Bank is a pretty obvious destination. They could go with her. They could give her a pink briefcase. It could be bedazzled. You know, they can do some fun stuff with it, sell some merchandise. But I think the likeliest thing that's going to happen here would be Tiffany winning, bringing it to SummerSlam, being in Nia Jax's corner against Bayley. I don't know, maybe cashing in during the match, after the match, something like that. So Tiffany, to me, is just, as far as talent goes, I mean, she's one of the fastest rising stars for a reason. She has picked everything up so quickly and is an incredible athlete. Really has all the tools, besides maybe a little bit, you know, not there in the head, I guess. But as far as the talent goes, she's right on that level with those other girls at the top of the main event scene right now. She's a pretty obvious choice if you want to take a young star and throw them in the main event. This is the way to do it. And number 1, I actually have Drew McIntyre, which is pretty crazy to look at because I really don't want Drew to win. I don't want him to win this match, and I don't want Jey to win this match. So as you can guess, that men's Money in the Bank match might be a little bit difficult for me. But Drew's at the top because, look, he's an established main eventer. He has a story where Punk can easily come out and cost him. Drew teased it at the end of Raw when he won his qualifier, saying, look, I'm going to take that Money in the Bank. I'm going to be world champion by the end of Money in the Bank. And he said it with a lot of, emphasis at the end. So I think it's possible one of two things happen. 1, CM Punk cost him the ladder match and he doesn't win. 2, Drew wins the Money in the Bank. Punk costs him the title match. Drew does not walk out champion. Now, the reason I'd be disappointed in that is just because it's kind of, to me, it's a little uninspired. You've already done Punk screwing him as a finish. Like, I don't think you have to do it again. And it kind of just, it would rub me the wrong way as far as you're going to a pay-per-view of Money in the Bank, as you're selling this as the top 5 pay-per-view. It's one of the big 5. And Money in the Bank as a concept, to me, we just kind of wasted if you have Drew, a guy that's already on that level, winning it and then not even winning his cash-in. To me, you should be using it to prop up someone like Andrade or Gable or Tiffany or Chelsea. It should be something that someone can take and either it will emphasize their creative, like it'll make their character better, it'll develop their character, or it will take them and thrust them into the scene higher than they're currently in. So if they're kind of a B player right now, it'll make them an A player. So that's what I'm kind of looking for in a winner here. That being said, I don't think Drew's that guy to do it. I don't want it to be Jey just because I want Jey in that bloodline mix. I don't want him with the briefcase. And those are my top 2 for the men's division. So I don't know. But let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Let me know who you think's going to win. If you think my order is crazy, if I have someone way too low, way too high, let me know. And I appreciate your time. As always, check out WrestleHook's videos. We have our podcast episodes coming out now, so check the live section. Our first episode of our podcast is already released, which is a Forbidden Door and Money in the Bank preview. So check out that Money in the Bank preview we'll go into more depth about all of these matches here on the card. So thank you for your time. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see how accurate this list was. Peace.